What's up, guys? Thanks for stopping by. I'm so excited to share with you this review for Chernobyl. It is a 5-part miniseries on HBO that just aired this past Monday. I just watched the episode on Monday night and I wanted to review for every episode. Before I get started though, as usual, I'd like to hear from you guys. Tell me in the comments below if you have HBO, if this is a show that you were interested in seeing, if you like history in the 80s, especially specific natural disasters such as this, and you like to hear the backstory of it. Tell me your thoughts below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to hear any more future content from me. As I already said, this is a show that I've been looking forward to for a while. It's only a 5-part miniseries. We're already 1 episode in, but this is something that always intrigued me, and I'm surprised Hollywood or any other TV studio or company never really made a series or a movie about this incident. As far as I know, I don't remember them ever making one. And when I found out about it, this was intriguing to me. Growing up, I knew about the Chernobyl incident, but I didn't know why or what happened behind the scenes. And this is what this show is about. It's giving you that backstory look behind the scenes of what really happened, why it happened, and what these people involved did in order to cover it up. As far as the cast goes, 3 actors that I am familiar with on it are Emily Watson, Stellan Skarsgård, and Jared Harris. All fine actors. They're all playing real people with names I know I'm going to have problems pronouncing, so I'm not going to pronounce them, but they are real people. And it's funny enough, in the first episode, they're not featured as prominently as other characters are, though I'm sure we will see more of them in the future episodes. The show, though, doesn't waste any time in telling the story about the power plant accident in Chernobyl. It does begin with the first few minutes around Jared Harris's character. I won't say what happens to him, but it is 2 years later after the event. But if you know your history, you might know what I'm talking about. As we go back to 1986, it does start with the accident that happened. It happened in the AM, something that I wasn't familiar with, so that was interesting. Once the accident occurs, the rest of this first episode is mainly focused around how everyone is reacting to it. At first, no one really thinks it is a big deal. This is just a minor thing. And there's a scene where most of the people that are ahead of this plant, they're trying to cover it up. They don't want anyone to know about it. It's like they're kind of, trying to cover their pride about this. They don't want to look weak in this situation. And it's interesting to me that they did that in real life. I didn't know that. I don't know how legit this all is, but if that is all true, that is interesting that they try to prevent from telling the truth to everyone else. And with that, they cause worse damage than if they would have done something about it in the first place. You do get different viewpoints from different types of people in this show, such as the people living in the city nearby in Chernobyl, the factory workers, the people that are ahead of the plant, all the reactions of what's going on. I think this is going to be an ongoing theme throughout the next few episodes. And with the factory workers, that's the one I found the most interesting because they're the ones that are actually seeing what's unfolding. They're seeing the explosion in the first episode. There's people getting sick. There's people throwing up. They know everything that's happening. Things are slowly getting worse and worse, yet the people that are in charge of the plant, they don't think it's as big of a deal, so they're just trying to hide it in order to protect themselves. From a technical standpoint, I was impressed just by the first episode. I love it when movies or TV shows have their era based in the 70s, 80s, or 90s, and here we have the 80s. It's very prevalent, and you can tell that it is the 80s with the hairstyles and the uniforms that the factory workers are wearing. And then you have the cinematography that looks fantastic, and the music is so eerie. And I think the main focus of the creators of the show was not only to inform us of what happened, but to just give us that unnerving feeling of what these people went through and how much they had to sacrifice in order to save Europe during this really critical time. And I felt for these people in the show, even for the people that had no idea what was about to unfold before them within the next few days, because, not to give too much away, but by the end of this episode, you can tell that the civilians of Chernobyl are going to be more involved once we get to the next episode, because it does create a kind of a thrilling feeling, and not in a good way, but it does intensify things up a bit within what we're going to see in the next few episodes, and it just builds up, and the way they do it is kind of slow, but it intrigues you at the same time, and it's just something that really interests me, not only because it was real, but it's dangerous situation that everyone's going through. So to sum it all up, this episode of this miniseries is just the initial beginning of this disaster. It's when it begins, it's how everyone's reacting to it, it's what everyone is doing about it. I learned some stuff that I didn't know about with them covering it up, so it was very intriguing to me. If you have HBO, this is a show that I recommend to watch, being that it is only the first episode, but so far, so good, I must say. If you have watched it, tell me in the comments below if this is something you like, if this is a moment in history that intrigues you like it does me. Tell me in the comments below what you think about it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll have my review for episode 2 on Monday or Tuesday night, as I was supposed to have for this one. So stay tuned. You all have a great week. This is Rye the Movie Guy saying, I'll see you at the movies.